I think as a player, I've just grown a lot more comparative to what I was on TSM when I first joined. While I was on TSM, I don't think I had, like in the 2 years, as much growth as I did when I left the team. I think I grew a lot more as like a player and like just as a person in general. My time in CLG when I first joined them, it was like a new experience, new people. After we lost, we like didn't do so well for 3 splits in a row, and in the most recent one we actually did like pretty decently. So it's a lot about like just gaining perspective when you're on a different team with like a different org. They do things differently, like different players, you're surrounded with new people. So it really helped me like find out the things that I wanted to do like in a team. Coming back, it definitely felt like a different team. It's new people. The people that I was playing with before compared to now are like drastically different, like personality wise, even play wise, everything's just different. It's just Bjerg. Bjerg was pretty much the same, I would say, when I came back. It's weird because you like return to your original org that I played with, and things are kind of familiar, but not really at the same time, and nothing's really exactly the same. It's weird.
I guess I become more fond of Vincent as time goes on. I think his personality is really, like, he takes a while to open up, but after he does, he has a very funny, like, he has a good sense of humor. I enjoy talking to him and spending time with him. I think the main thing that changed after I joined in terms of my perception of him was just how decisive he is in the game sometimes. I thought he would be a way less talkative guy naturally, but when the going gets in the game, he does make the calls he needs to.
I think in some ways Vincent hasn't changed because obviously people don't change like an insane amount, and largely they still are who they are at their core, and Vincent really is still the person that he is at his core. But I feel like he has a little bit more fire in him now, or he knows what it's like to be on kind of like a crap team where other people aren't stepping up. So I like seeing those moments of fire and kind of like anger from him where he really, or red energy moments, where Vincent will actually be like, no, we just need to fucking do this and like do this. It's so obvious. And he wouldn't really do that in the past. He would just kind of stick to being agreeable and quiet. But I really look for those moments in him where he kind of where it boils up and he gets frustrated, and then he starts to actually make his opinion clear and really tell people what to do, which is something that of course our team needs and pretty much every team needs.
We just have to dive them early, I think. That's so conditioned. I think that's really hard. But if we don't, it's not like... I think I'm definitely a lot more opinionated as a player now. Especially like in reviews. I think before on TSM, I didn't really contribute much to reviews. I was kind of like doubting what I was doing. If people called something, I would just be like, oh, okay, sure. It's definitely a confidence-related thing. It's like if you're a kid, you don't know anything. Like the adults are telling you one thing, so like, okay, you're not really gonna question it. You don't form like your own like ideas about anything. Now, if I feel strongly about something, I do voice it, or I give feedback during reviews. It's still kind of, I think my worst part about giving feedback is I'm really good at giving team feedback, but if it's on like an individual player base, it's a little bit harder for me. But in like team reviews or whenever it's about like in game, I do try to communicate more and like about what I want. and I've been playing for like 4 years now, so I do have enough experience to talk about the things that I'm good at. I feel good.
You high?
That
They beat the world champion Kobbe.
That probably sounds like I was high, but I swear I'm not. But yeah, I'm feeling good about today. Hopefully we win.
We'll have a winning match about them, and hopefully we can win one.
Yeah, hopefully my coach drafts well.
I'm scared.
Actually, I hated Seaweed when I was not playing pro. But now that I could have a little touch in a lot of cultures, I started liking it. I'm gonna open my ASMR channel soon, so stay tuned.
Do you want what?
You want some food? I'm gonna order food for him and you.
We're gonna play against Edward. Edward today.
Edward Gaming?
Edward Ra. Tactical. Well, a tactical master me yesterday said, "Are you guys well prepared?" And I asked him, "Did you guys prepared?" He said, "I only have 2-day practice." Well, I mean, his big brother Johnson is already in the LCS, so hopefully, best of luck to him.
No.
It's for your own good.
What?
It's for your own performance.
No way.
Yeah. You want some?
Feel good?
Give me
Whoa! Your turn. You're gonna get too aroused.
No.
You are not aroused enough right now.
BB's good. BB's gentle but powerful.
Come back to the
BB's gentle and powerful at the same time. You want to try, Casper? Makes you play better.
It does not.
Feel pumped? Yeah.
That's good.
See?
Biodaddy! Oh, Biodaddy! Can I get mid and jungle turned up and then my own voice turned a little bit down?
Yeah.
What do you need to turn down for?
Turn down for what?
Oh! Vincent, can you please relax? You're getting me too aroused.
Do you want to check the changes, Bio?
Yeah, speak?
No.
Speak.
Jesus Christ, you think you're a fucking king or what?
Speak now, pigeons.
Please. Speak, you disgusting peasants. Your father, Biofrost, is speaking to you.
Honestly, it's better to use more of his mana. Trying to control the wave. Impact, though, has 3, and he's got Brock available. Broken Blade, body slam, slow, kick back as well, flashes the wall. There's the chase down. Set wants in. It's Saturday, baby. Impact gets first blood. That was so cool.
I can hold this guy.
So he's hovering.
We can also TP back.
I'm ready with TP if you guys see it.
Yeah, watch bottom, watch bottom.
TPing as well.
MF no.
MF no flash.
I'm here. I volt.
Careful. MF no flash.
MF no flash. Play slow. Watch front line.
Gragas.
Headshot.
Set.
Kill set.
He's rooted, no flash.
Set stun. Nice.
He's dead.
I volt still.
Just back. We can't win.
We lose that poke war, I think.
But I can just go with my R.
I'm gonna press R when Josh is here.
Okay, I'm watching.
Yeah.
They have QSS on 80 carry.
Just defend.
Just kill the wave, kill the wave.
Look, ball wave. They're coming again.
Watch Zoe.
I'm just
I'm
gonna
just gonna throw R here, okay?
Yeah, okay.
Watch set.
Yeah.
Holding him.
I'm on set as well.
It's a good
I'm
start.
set,
It's a good
I'm
start.
set.
Kill the wave if you can. Kill the wave. He will not die.
Set ulti.
I'm holding you, Björn.
Okay.
I'm dead.
No, this is not winnable.
Yeah, it's not.
I beat him 5.
Oh, rest in peace. Close.
The game against TL was obviously not super good. We went for the Maokai pick, which I think was a decent pick, but we didn't really fully understand our win condition or how we were going to win the game and when we were going to start winning the game and exactly what we needed to give up to reach that point, especially around the Kale and Temkench getting level 11 to assist Kale in the split push. And there's also just a lot of mistakes. Like early game, there was some miscommunication that led to BB dying, and we had some misplayed team fights, and obviously BB died also on the side lane against Core JJ, kind of just roaming down and killing him. And honestly, they just kind of played it better individually, played better as a team. Wasn't much to say.
Do you say mana or mana?
Mana. It says mana.
Mana is correct.
What do y'all say?
Mana.
I think I normally don't talk about mana, but I guess I say mana.
I remember in Diablo 2 they said mana, and I really hated it.
No, yeah, definitely not mana. Definitely not that one.
You got no mana? I got no mana?
No mana.
I don't like it. Not one bit.
Do what?
Getting comfortable, feeling confident in the way that you're sitting, also feeling comfortable. And I'll ask you guys if it makes sense for you to do the counting breath so that you can slowly, as we go, deepen your breath. Remember, you're breathing with your diaphragm, so your belly should be moving in and out as you breathe in. Right away, moving into that present moment focused awareness that we want to have on stage. Really feeling your feet. And let's just keep a level of focus and awareness in the present moment as we go from here to stage.
Right before you play on stage, there's a mix of anxiety, excitement, and like just, I don't know, there's a lot of anxiousness, at least for me. When I first started to play on TSM in 2016 at the start of my career, I was super nervous. I didn't know if I was good or not. I'd been playing with the team. I didn't know if I was going to perform on stage. And it was just a lot of self-doubt. I think at the time, I knew like if I didn't perform well on stage, I'd just get cut. So it was a lot of anxiety around that too. Like, oh shit, if I don't play well, I'm just going to be benched immediately. But the whole season went really, really well for me.
No arrow!
Keep going, Victor! Nice!
Vincent's fucking fainting.
Even like throughout TSM, like I had a lot of success while on TSM, and when I went to CLG, it really shifted, and I never really had known like what it was like to take loss after loss. So after you've been put in so many different situations on game day, like, oh, you're going into this game after like losing 5 games in a row. Like, what is your mindset here? Like, do you still want to win? Like, what is that drive? What is pushing you? And what is your mindset? After going through all of these different scenarios, now I feel a lot better about like whatever situation that I'm put in, either whether I'm like the underdog or I'm the person expected to win. I'm a lot more prepared in like these variety of situations. And really, experience is the #1 thing for this. And if you have the experience for something, you can really rely on that to kind of help you push through.
If they overextend, I will TP, okay? I think I will TP.
Okay.
Look, go. Rumble no flash, Rumble no flash.
Rexen no flash, Rexen no flash. Okay. IVQ flash, I'm almost in range.
Yeah?
Ah, fucked up.
I'll get him.
Nice TP, nice TP.
Good job. Good shit, Casper.
I'm gonna base and go back.
Nice.
I lose some waves, but I think it's worth.
Yeah, let's push it together.
Okay. Rumble.
No.
Okay.
Rumble
just me.
ulted.
We're okay.
They're going here.
Watch Vincent. I'm okay. Okay.
Very
They don't have Rumble.
Watch
Rumble.
Hitting
Watch
Rumble.
Victor.
Okay.
I'm running. I'm low.
Rek'Sai? Oh, dead as fuck.
Rumble flash. Rumble flash.
Yeah, can't do anything.
Yep.
As they look to take down TSM, will it be able to happen? The next Nexus turret in their eyes. Kobbe on the right side has a lot of minions to fire through, but I think it's all just too much. Kobbe getting cooked up. CLG's onto the Nexus, and CLG will surge over TSM to take the victory.
And what a game from CLG Home Builder. Going back to the 2015 semifinals round.
This O2 definitely hurts more than the other ones. The O2 result isn't necessarily the concerning part, it's how we got there, and the gameplay that led us to the O2 is what we were most concerned about this week. I think the level of play we showed is just lower than anything we've shown in LCS so far, and I think that at least to me is the most concerning part, because up until last week I felt like every game we played on stage we were progressively getting better and showing better performance every week. Even in the games where we lost early on, they were hard-fought losses, like the 60-plus minute game against Immortals, or the 50-minute banger against FlyQuest, where we're getting outscaled by Yuumi. Like, we put a lot better showings on the table than, you know, what we showed against CLG, for example, which was the worst team in the league at that time. So, yeah, overall, just a really embarrassing week, I think, for us.
Similar to when I said, like, when I first joined CLG, you play with new players, and on this team, everyone's different except for Bjerg. So you also get to gain like a new perspective in that sense. And to improve, each team is gonna require different things. What worked on CLG for me might not be working on TSM. So you have to kind of adapt to like the players that you have and whatever structure that you have. And that's really important in a player, is their ability to adapt. So whatever like pieces you're given, you can't just be like, well, on this team it worked, so I'm sad that it doesn't work on this team now. You kind of have to problem solve, and every team has pieces and they kind of have to figure out like, okay, what structure do we want? How do we want people to communicate? What champions are good for them? You kind of have to figure out. It's a puzzle, and every season you kind of go through with it, or like even every roster basically. It's not a single person job to figure out this puzzle. It's a collaborative effort. I would say we were closer, but after the 0-2 week, I'm taking a step back and saying we're a little bit further away from what I originally anticipated, because of how well practice was going leading up to the 0-2 week. I was like, we're doing like some right things, like we're having good progress, like we have good results in scrims. We were winning most games in scrims, and it was hard for us to get a good read on, I guess, what's good and what's not. So we're tied at third right now when we're 6-6, which feels really weird to say, but I'm hopeful for the rest of the split. Most of the improvement comes when it's crunch time, and I'm hoping that since we went 0-2 this week, that we go 2-0 next week. Imagine the contrast if we win against C9 and FlyQuest. That'd feel great. So I'm betting on superstition here.